I thank the grace of Heavenly Mother, compassion of Buddha Maitreya, Jigong Buddha, virtue of patriarchs, Sister Simu, and also Grandmaster, Senior Master Li, and Junior Master Li to allow me to have this opportunity to host this session. And I welcome you all to come to this session today. And we will continue from our previous session. 弥勒救苦真经, the Scripture of Deliverance of Maitreya Buddha. So we will begin our line here. The fifth line is 落在中原三星地. When we look at this line, we can interpret this line in two ways. So the first way to interpret this line is to look at 三星地. What is 三星地? 三星地, we can look at it as a 3-star inn. Keep in mind, this is the 63 patriarch prophesied the Tao will be continue to spread in San Xing. And San Xing, we look at it as the 3-star inn. The 3-star inn is in Tienshin province in China. So another place that we want to keep in mind is Shandong province. Shandong province is a very significant place for Tao propagation in the initial time, because as you can see down below here, Confucius was born in 551 BC, and he was born in Shandong province. The 61 patriarch Wang Jie transmit the Tao to the 62 patriarch Liu Qinxi, also in Shandong province, and the 63 patriarch and 64 patriarch, we have two, patriarch Zhang Tianran and patriarch Sun Huiming. They were both born in Shandong province. What is San Xing? San Xing is the 3-star inn in Tianjin province. And the other way to look at it is that, look at the picture on the lower right. So the San Xing, we can look at it from the 3 stars on our face, which we all have, right? So we have this, our eyes represent the yin and the yang, the sun and the moon, the taiji. And where does the taiji come from? It comes from Wuji. So our heavenly portal is that Wuji place. It tells us that whatever we do, we have to cultivate from here. We have to practice from here. And we have to start our awakening point. It starts from here. So we can look at the San Xing from our face. There is a story that I want to tell you. I want to show you a book here first. The book is called The Healing Code, 6 minutes to heal the source of your health, success or relationship issue. In USA, there's a doctor, he's a psychologist, and he has a wife who suffers from anxiety and depression. And he has been accompanying her for several years, up to a point that she feels so stressed, feels so depressed, she wants to commit suicide. And of course, her health condition also affect him too. So there was one time he was traveling in an airplane, and he was so stressed. And at that point, he got a message that he need to do something like this. And it is this gesture here. And after he did that, he feel much relief. And then he started to tell his friend, if you feel stressed, you do this. And of course, he tell his wife to do that too. And something miraculously happened to his wife. Her emotion got elevated. She was able to walk out of the depression. Finally, he shared that with many friends and colleagues. And because he was in the medical field, and he also did the test in the clinical study too. So he realized that every person who did this, and he can compare before and after, because in the lab, there is some kind of machine that can measure people's anxiety level. So this does have scientific effect. So when a person who is stressed, who has depression, and they do this kind of gesture, their depression got better and their emotional level become better. So later on, he wrote a book. And the book is called The Healing Code. And this is what we all have. We all have our heavenly portal open from our Tao Master. And this is what we do. During our meditation, our master told us that we need to focus in our heavenly portal. So what we were taught in the temple, it's the same as the book, the healing code. You're welcome to buy the book. It has been proven that just by focusing here, your emotional level will be much better, and you will be able to focus more, and you will be more connected to the source, to the divine. Isn't that beautiful? Are we all blessed? Because we all receive Tao, and it's just a blessing. So if you feel stressed, you can use your hand to help you to focus. But our hand, we can also use the symbolic seal to hold a hand like this. So that will be very helpful too. The next line is 大證四川王桃心. So to look at this line, we can look at this line in two ways again. So we can look at Wang Taoxing as a residence, because back in Sichuan province, there was a resident. His last name is Wang, and first name is Taoxing. So in Chinese, we call him Wang Taoxing. So this line can interpret as great attainment took place in Sichuan Wang Taoxing, and this is referring to Sizun. Sizun passed away in Wang Taoxing's residence. So let's look at the last line here, the 63 patriarch Lu Zongyi. So Lu Zongyi prophesied Sizun's passing in Mr. Wang Taoxing's residence. So just to remind you, who is Patriarch Lu? I have a picture here. Yeah. So in all the I-Kuan Tao temple, you can see his picture. His name is Lu Zongyi, but we don't like to call him by his name. We just like to call him by the 63 patriarch. But back then, Sizun has not passed yet. He was able to prophesy that he passed in a specific place. It's Sichuan province. So now the second way to look at this line is that the great attainment comes from taking control of the four rivers. So Sichuan is a province. In this province, there's actually four rivers flowing inward. So that's what we talk about in China geographically. But on our face, we also have Sichuan too. Our Sichuan is, which I list up here, our eyes, ears, nose, mouth. So we have two eyes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, we have 6 rivers. But if we categorize that, it's actually 4 rivers. So these 4 rivers, they are all interconnected, right? Our eyes can create a flood of tears, right? And so is our ear. If we have ear infection, things is going to come out, the liquid is going to come out from our ears. And our nose, we do sneeze, right? And our mouth, we have saliva. So inside, we are all connected. We have all these 4 rivers on our face, in our physical body. We intend to focus outward. We like to look at things outside, right? Our eyes like to look at beautiful things. Our ear like to focus on who is talking bad about me, who is gossiping about me. And we like to talk to people outside of us, externally, of course. But we have to reflect onto ourselves. What about looking inward? Looking inward. So it's just like we have this camera here. A lot of time when we go to travel, we take beautiful picture, right? When is the last time you take selfie? Selfie. I like to take selfie too when I go travel. So cultivation is all about taking selfie. We need to reflect not only what we see outside, we also have to see what's inside of us. We have to hear what is inside of us. Because inside of us, we have this very subtle voice. And this subtle voice comes from our inner nature. It's so subtle that you can only hear it when you are calm, at peace. If you are focusing so much outside, you cannot hear what is inside. You cannot see what is inside, right? And also our mouth. When we are talking so much, we cannot listen to ourselves. When is the last time you hear yourself talking to each other? We talk to ourselves, right? Like this morning, wake up. Do I go to temple or do I stay on bed? Do I join a session or do I just sleep on bed? Am I hungry or not? And then I will answer myself. Yes, I'm hungry. Then I go to eat. Oh, no, I'm not hungry. Then I just continue doing the things that I do. So this is like talking to ourselves. So when we are so busy from our external environment, we don't have time to talk to ourselves. It's an exercise that we constantly have to do, reflecting onto us. So next time when you take a picture from your phone, remember you have to take that spiritual selfie onto yourself. And when we reflect into ourselves, that's reflecting onto our healing code. Remember the book Healing Code on our heavenly portal and our essence. So yeah, I have this picture here. So this is our four river. On this line, there's another way to interpret it. The third way to interpret this line is great attainment took place when we reflect internally in its essence. Wang Taoxing, we can look at Wang Taoxing as a peach, but this peach, we are not talking about the outside, we are talking about the core, inside the peach. So the seed is the main core. So if the seed is bad, it will not produce any fruit, right? I want to share with you a story. 2,000 years ago, there's a king. There's an emperor in China. He's very smart, and he wants to pass the throne to a wise person. He wants to bring this person to the palace and give him the best education. And he wants to open all the opportunity to own a residence in his country. And he's looking for a little boy under 10 years old. This is a true story. He has 1,000 seed that he wants to give it to own a little boy. And he distributed the seed and he made the announcement. Whoever can grow the seed, well, you will be able to come into the palace, and then we will make sure you receive the best education in all the aspects to prepare you to be the best emperor. So he told his follower, his council, to give the seed to each household who has little boys in their home. So of course, the word got spread. So everybody who has a little boy received that seed. So all the family are so looking forward. And the requirement is that you need to make sure the seed grows and then bring the seed in the pot so that next year, the deadline is next 1 year. So you have to bring that pot to the emperor so the emperor can see the result. So within this year, everybody will try so hard to make sure the seed grow, right? So sometimes the mom get involved. The mom wants to help the son to prosper in his career. So the mom also give advice too. But there was one particular kid. He was so worried. He tell his mom, "Mom, I try to give my seed. We try to give the seed best soil. We have the best fertilizer. I took care of the seed. I talk to the seed every day. I make sure I move my seed, my pot under the sun. I make sure there's 8 to 10 hours of sun each day, and then I move it inside. I move it inside, but it doesn't work, so I take it stay outside, and I talk to the seed, and I want the seed to grow. But why it doesn't grow?" Mom said, "It's okay, just let it be. If it doesn't grow, you already give your best." So this kid is very, very depressed. So the mom encouraged the child, "It's okay, just let it be. This is the seed you get, and you already give the best of yourself. It's okay." So the little kid went to talk to the neighbor. The neighbor also had some seed too, some little boy. They exchange information. this little boy got very depressed because other neighbors' boy, they already have some activity in their pot. So as they go on, this little boy hear other boy talk about how well their sprout process goes and how well they take care of the seed. This boy continued to nurture this seed, but nothing happened. A year go by. Everybody was so cheerful, and they bring their pot to the prime minister. And it was a whole day event because it was 1,000 family come together to present their pot. As the emperor come by, the king see that everybody has a pot. They also have something. There's something inside, but they all look different. So finally, he see there was one pot that just have soil without any activity. So the king looked at this boy. He asked this boy, "What happened to your pot?" So this little boy say, "I don't know." He looked very embarrassed. "I don't know. I give my best care, but then it doesn't grow anything." He said, "Very well, my son." The mother tried to comfort the little boy too. So the emperor continued to walk down the aisle to check everybody's pot. So everybody has something in their pot, right? So when he come back, he announced the little boy to be the next emperor. And everybody was so amazed. How did he make that decision? And the emperor continued to say, "I make this boy our next emperor because he is the most honest person, including his mom is the most honest person. Because you see, 1 year ago, when I present you 1,000 seeds, those seeds have been cooked and they are not supposed to grow anything out of it." So he select this boy because this boy is the most honest one. And I'm sure we all agree with the emperor's decision. Okay. So another way to look at the peach. Isn't our head a peach? Because our head has our soft spot, right? Our cheekbone, our nose, our lips, it's all soft. But inside of this peach, there is a pineal gland. So this pineal gland is our seed within the peach. So on this line, 大证四川王桃心 can be interpreted in 3 ways. Great attainment took place in Sichuan province, in Wang Taoxin's residence. And number 2, the great attainment comes from taking control of 4 rivers. And the third way to interpret this is the great attainment took place when reflect internally in its essence. So I do want to mention about this monk here. He's a famous Indian breatharian monk who have lived without food and water since 1940. And this is what he looked like. And Naman can give us a little story about him. And this is a real person, right, Naman?
Actually, he already died in 2020. Yeah, in May 2020, he has already died. He died of natural death. As much as I know his story, in childhood, he got a boon from a goddess, which he is devoted to, that he don't need any food or any water to, and he didn't eat for 70 years. He only stayed on, 70
Wow.
years. Later on, when he get a little bit famous, I think it's around 2018, 2019, he got a little famous. Then some scientists do a test on him, and they put him in a hospital room, and they do research. Like, I think they put him for some weeks and months, and they see he didn't drink any water, he didn't eat anything.
Wow.
So yeah, the scientists and the doctors were also shocked. Scientists were there because they thought that if there is a way that a person can live like that, because India was sending some mission on Mars and Moon, right? So they wanted to get this trick so other people can use that trick and they can go to Moon and Mars and stay there for a long time. So that some ISRO scientists, ISRO is like NASA of India. they were also involved in this. And later on, they realized that it's true. He can stay without food and any water and any drink, any liquid. He can just take breath.
I did some study on this man. He basically feeds himself from the sunlight, and his pineal gland is bigger than the normal person, and his brain works like a 25 years old young man. So what we need to focus is on our pineal gland. So the more that we focus on, the better, the bigger it will get. Let's hope, because we do need to focus more internally than externally, right? So this is the cultivation. Cultivation is to cultivate inward, not outward. We don't ask people to change, but we want to change ourselves. So taking a spiritual selfie is very important. Okay, the next one is 天真收圆挂圣号. Tienzhen here, these two characters here actually represent two persons. Tien is Sizun. His real name is Zhang Tianran. And Zeng is represented by Simu. Her real name is Sun Shuzhen. So when we talk about Tienzhen, it's actually referred to our Sizun and Simu. So Sizun and Simu bring salvation to us by registering our name in heaven. So what is Soyuan? Soyuan is to finish up. Sometimes when we make some food and we will have everybody enjoy the eating, but then somebody have to finish off, right? Finish off the leftover. So Sizun Simu's job is to wrap up the final era because they are the 64th patriarch. In the Christian term, people are looking for Jesus. They wait for Jesus to come, right? It doesn't matter who wrap it up. Somebody have to wrap it up. In the Tao environment, we always say Sizun Simu is going to wrap it up. Wrap it up meaning to take the last soul. Make sure a good person can go to heaven. Have you seen a movie, All Dogs Go to Heaven? So I'd like to change the phrase to all good people go to heaven. Buddha, Bodhisattva, all the Holy Spirit, they want all the humankind to go to heaven. They want all, without anybody leave behind. So the test of salvation is very important. This salvation is called a great harvest. It's to assist Buddha Maitreya to bring back all God's children back to the kingdom. And we are all God's children, right? I think our culture tells us that Jesus is the Son of God. But in the Tao environment, we call everybody is children of God. I'm the daughter of God, and you are the son of God. Nobody is excluded. So it's a fact that we have to accept. If we accept that, we will feel the love from God. But if we deny that lineage, then of course we will feel isolated. We feel broken from the source, and we break up from the lineage. And we don't want that to break up because such spiritual lineage is so important. Sizun and Simu, with their grace harvest to bring salvation to the mankind, it will complete the 64th hexagram. And here I want to show you the lineage. So the first patriarch start from Emperor Fuxi and Shenlong and Yellow Emperor Shanghao, and we can see that our Emperor Tang, before Emperor Tang is Emperor Yu, and then after that is King Wen. King Wen, he is one of the authors in I Ching, and King Wu, and Duke Zhou. Duke Zhou is the fourth son of King Wen, and here is the famous person that we like to study about his book, Lao Tzu and Confucius, and here is Shakyamuni Buddha. So the lineage continue on. Okay. Zhang Tianran, Sizun, Sun Shuzhen, Simu, they mark the 64th patriarch. And here you see the number is different because we like to separate as the first 18 in China and the middle one in 28 in India and 18 in China again. So if you add 18 and then 28 and 18, then that makes up number of 64. So that will be the completion of the I Ching 64th hexagram. So when we receive Tao, we did not receive Tao from our Tao master. Our Tao master are just a channeling person. We actually receive Tao from Jigong Buddha passed on to Sizun Simu. With Sizun Simu's authority, the divine spirit passed through our Tao master. This is all taking place in the Tao ceremony. So when this happened, our name is registered in Tushita heaven. We must ask us, is your name written in them's books of life, like what it says in the Bible? This is a question must be answered because it has eternal significance. You can see that in Revelation 20:15, it says that the final judgment, those whose name are not written in this book, will be thrown into the lake of fire, and this considered a second death. So, is your name written in Book of Life? Our answer should be yes, because our name is written on the dragon scroll. So with that process, our name is on the dragon scroll, and it enables us to continue our cultivation to Tushita heaven. And Tushita heaven is not our final destination. Our destination will continue on. So let's see this 31 planes of existence. So this picture we've seen before, remind you where is Tushita heaven. So we are number 5, Manusa Loka. This is where we reside.
The first one is Niraya, which is like hell, and second one is Terachana, and the third one is Preta. Actually, it's a bit different than Sanskrit. I think it's Pali language. Buddhist scriptures written in Pali language, so it's Preta in Sanskrit and Peta in Pali. So Peta mean all the ghosts, spirits, jinn, genies, all that. And then the fourth one is demons, Asura. So the difference between Peta and Asura, Asura is more powerful than Peta. Much more powerful. It's more like Lucifer and his people. Those are Asuras. Then there is this Manusya Loka, which is the human realm. Manusya means human. Loka means place or realm. So human realm. And then this is Chatur Maharajika and Tawatit Masat, Yama, Tushita. Yeah.
So we all receive the Tao blessing. It enables us to move from number 5, Manusa Loka, to Tushita. Isn't that wonderful? And then 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then what is above Tushita? There's more. So our journey continues. So may Tushita heaven not be our last destination, because it's a stopping place for us to continue on. And this is with the grace of Buddha Maitreya, Sizun Simu, and Jigong Buddha. Oh, by the way, in the Christian term, a lot of people, they go to heaven, they see beautiful river, they see their ancestor, they hear music, they enjoy food. I'm sure they are still in the desire realm because it's something that they enjoy and something that they recognize the thing. So this is still in the desire realm. So isn't that beautiful? We can imagine where we go to Tushita heaven. And I'm sure Naman does not want to go to Tushita heaven. He wants to go to a higher one, right? Let's see how well we do. So with registration on the Book of Life, on the Dragon document scroll, it's just a beginning. So day-to-day cultivation is still needed. And you say, how can it just be the beginning? My name is already registered. I will say that it's just a beginning. Imagine you apply to a college, and then finally in the college accept your admission, and you got admitted, but you never go to school. Will you be able to complete the course? Will you be able to get a grade? Will you be able to graduate? So it's the same concept. Registration gives you a foot in the door, but it's only a foot in the door. So we still need to do a lot of work ourselves. Day-to-day self-cultivation, day-to-day selfie is also needed. One beautiful thing about this is that we have all taken the first step. We are all in this in university now. We are all in, but whether we can graduate or not depends on how hard we work on this, how hard we work on ourselves. 等待时至点神兵, awaiting the moment to mobilize the holy troop. So we should look at this together. So this one is talking about the Tao ceremony. During the Tao ceremony, 师尊and 师母 will help you to prepare the name on the document scroll. But all this is done through our Tao master. So that's why we all receive Tao. And when this is happening, there is a lot of activity going on in the spiritual realm. So Tao can only be transmitted during a Tao ritual with gathering of the 28 constellation, with the presence of guardian marshal, transmitted master, who is our Tao master. In Tienshin temple is our Tao master, the introducer, and the guarantor, and the invisible being. We can see that from the Invocation Sutra. And Giacomo, will you be available to help us to read this, to refresh our memory what the Invocation Sutra is?
Please remain quiet. Take your places in an orderly manner. Straighten your clothes and listen to this announcement with sincere reverence. Auspicious smoke rises from a bagua burner. The sacred nurturing Lao Mu descends to the shrine with Wan Ti to the left and Chu Yan to the right. The 28 constellations protect the shrine. Lao Mu arrives while all deities attending solemnly, pointing to the right for orders and left for commands. The thunder, wind, tiger and dragon units all display their prowess. Stand at attention and listen carefully. It is now the third phase and the great Tao has appeared. All divine beings shall protect the shrine. All spiritual entities shall heed the decree without disobedience. For those who suffer, help them. For those in disaster, save them. For those who are good, assist them. For those with tax, work with them. Let the great catastrophe withdraw far away. The constellation and officials of the spiritual realm receive the command of heavenly mandate. Attempt quickly the heavenly work. Proceed carefully the mission in the three realms spaces. It shall be so eternally that retreat must never be permitted. Fulfill your duties and exert your influence over the three realms. The command of Lao Mu passes from me to you. When you see those on the path, help them attain the Tao. Elevate energy in the universe and let the 12 deities take their positions in heaven. The time is nearly upon us. Do not disregard this announcement.
Thank you, Giacomo Tienshin, for helping us to read this Invocation Sutra. So as you can see in the one that I highlighted in red, the one in red text, Guan Di Chun Yang, the 28 constellation, the thunder, wind, tiger, dragon units, all these are deities, and the constellation and officer of the spiritual realm. So everybody need to get busy, right? And there's 12 deities. 12 deities, it's talking about the time zone of the 12 deity. By this time zone, the zodiac, there's 12 Chinese zodiac. Each one is represented by one deity. So that's why on this line it says, awaiting the moment to mobilize the holy truth, because everybody have to get ready. Next one is 云雷震开戊己土. Clouds and thunders will shake the earth. So here it's just mentioned about the cloud and thunder, but it actually covers 4 items or 4 beings. It's the thunder, the wind, the tiger, and the dragon. So who are the thunder? and the wind.
Deity, cloud and thunder, deities, gods of thunder and wind. Once they were merit doers and or philanthropists. Upon their death, they become heavenly guard general. They continue to spread their merit and grace through clouds and rain, continue to nurture their people and protect their homeland.
Yeah, in the old day, when there's drought or when there's thunder, usually the emperor have to set up a special altar to ask the deity of thunder or the deity of rain to ask for rain to come upon the land. Can you imagine this? Before, I never thought about all the natural phenomenon is being controlled by the deity or the gods. But after I got involved in this Tao environment, as I study further, I realized, wow, everything has deities and God involved. And it's so beautiful to see that the deity of thunder and wind, they were merit doer and philanthropist, and they continue to spread their merit through clouds and rain.
Deities and gods of tiger and dragon. Once they were who were heroes, soldiers, saviors who protect their homeland and save the people. Upon their death, they continue the righteous act to get rid of the evil spirit and cast the devils.
Yeah, that's also awesome too. It's good to see that deity and gods of tiger and dragon they are in a spiritual realm to help to protect the human being, to protect the police force, protect the troops, to protect the homeland for their security. So you can see that the top category and the bottom category, one is the energy of good force. The other one is the energy is to cast away the evil. So it works like a yin and a yang. So we can say that as an example, the thunder and wind is more like the white, like the sun, the good force, the merit doer. But the tiger and the dragon is like the police force, the armed guard, the national guard. In case there's chaos happen, they are ready to take them away. So one is white, one is black. We need both, right? Earlier we were just talking about the thunder and the clouds. We're shaking the earth. Actually, this earth is talking about the earth in the middle. So if we look at the 5 elements, in Chinese, there's a 5 element: the water, the metal, fire, wood, and earth. Earth is always in the middle. I mean, there's a lot of things that we can talk about this, but just for our session here, on our face, we also have this center point too, which represent by earth, and the earth is right in the middle. So clouds and thunder was shaking our heavenly portal. The heavenly portal is opened during the Tao ritual by the enlightened Tao master, whom received the heavenly decree granted from the heavenly mother and God. The next one I want to talk about is 天下神鬼不安宁. Spirits and ghosts are restless. In this earthly realm, there's spirit and ghost. So let's read this line here. Because of the Tao blessing can help one out of samsara. Because samsara is the 6th way of reincarnation. So when you enter to Shuddha heaven, you are no longer in the samsara. So all the spirit, including the divine and evil spirit from 3 realms, are restless. And why? So let's look at what are the 3 realms. So the 3 realms is the spiritual being in heaven, and human being on earth, and the soul and ghost in hell. So you can, of course, you know, we're in the spiritual being. So the spiritual being are like angel, like fairy, somebody who is invisible to the human eyes. I consider that as spiritual being. Buddha, Bodhisattva, they are also spiritual being in heaven. When we talk about heaven, there's the spiritual heaven, the one that's visible, but then there's another one that's invisible. So heaven, the real heaven, the supreme heaven, is this 4, based on Buddhism, based on Shakyamuni Buddha's interpretation, this 4. But as you can see here on the top, it's called formless realm, the immaterial worlds. And here it's a realm of form. So in the blue box here, it still have form. And when we come here, the pink one, keep in mind Tushita heaven is also in the pink line here, pink one too. Planes of happiness connected with desire. People call this a desire realm. So when we talk about the spirit in heaven, we need to ask, is this the spirit in the realm of form or the formless realm? So here when I talk about a spiritual being, I'm talking about the one in the orange box and the blue box.
Satan ghosts will come aggressively to disturb the Tao ritual. At the same time, all deities and angels, Buddhas and sages will come to guard the ceremony. Satan and ghosts, the creditors, are eager to search for the debtors for collection of karma. After one receives Tao, the chains for the creditors to collect debt might be dim. Thus, they frequently fight for claiming to whoever owes them. The ancestors await anxiously for the descendants to receive Tao.
Yeah, thank you, Giacomo Tienshin. Why when the ghosts and the Satan be so restless? They want to hinder you from receiving Tao. Since we are all human, that means we all have unfinished business. And when we say unfinished business, that means there is some things that we're supposed to do, but we haven't done, and we haven't done to our significant other, or something that we did not do in the previous life. In other words, we owe somebody something. So the karma creditor is going to come to ask us for that payment. But because we received Tao, we will be under some kind of protection. If they don't take credit from you, then later on, if you progress on the cultivation, later on you progress more. Once you reach to Tushita heaven, who knows? Maybe you can go beyond Tushita heaven. Then how can they ask the collection from you? They won't be. That's why they become restless. They want to try everything they can to stop you from receiving Tao. So that's why sometimes we call people, hey, you want to receive Tao? And then they say they will come, but then they don't come. Or on the day of the Tao receiving, maybe they have stomach ache, or maybe they have a car accident, or sometimes things happen before the Tao ceremony happen. Sometimes people fainted, sometimes people have diarrhea, and that hinder them from coming to the temple. So the karmic creditors, they are those whom we owe karmic debt to, whom we have harmed in the previous life. Most of the time it's the previous life. And then you say, wow, what a bad luck. Why do I have car accident today or something? And it's because we have karmic creditor, right? We all have. Who doesn't have? Everybody has, right? So next time, if we have a car accident, if we have a scratch on our skin, if we cut our finger, if we have bruise on our arms and legs, if our wallet gets stolen, if we have something happen, if we trip, we fall, our ankle hurts, even like my mom, she has a stroke. She has stroke. I look at that as karmic creditor coming. So when those things comes, just accept the situation and life move on, right? Who doesn't have those kind of things in life? We all have, right? So next time, if there's any mishap happens, what are we going to do? Number one, we accept the situation. We accept the situation. It doesn't mean that I accept it and I hope that I will get another one. When we accept the situation, we don't deny it. And we don't put negative emotion to it. We don't say, God damn, why does this happen to me? Why did you do this to me? Why did you steal my wallet? Why did this person stole my head? Why this person hit me? So we just accept the situation. We don't overinterpret it. We just deal with it. So if my car got hit, then I accept the situation. I don't cuss to the other person, but I go through the process that I'm supposed to go through. Say I call the police, file a claim in the insurance company, and maybe I have to pay $1,000 deductible. And that's it. So you say, why do I have to lose $1,000? Do you want to pay $1,000 to your car insurance company, or do you want to pay $1,000 to a doctor? Which way do you choose? And I think most people would like to choose just to pay the money without physical harm. And even if you have physical harm, your life is still spared. So it's still a good thing. Anyway, we want to pay our karmic debt as soon as possible, but it's good that they allow us to make in different payment. So something happened this month, and something happened next month, and something happened next year. So it's all like in little installment, right? Isn't that good? It doesn't come in a big chunk. Talking about my mom, September 16, she has stroke. I would say that was karmic debt come in a big chunk. It was so big that all my family have to get involved. And me and my brother took turn to take care of my mom. So we don't want that to happen. So we would rather to pay in small installment.